So here's a tip for writers who have been working on the one manuscript for quite a long period of time, and it will form lesson 8 of my publishing boot camp. And hello, my name is Sophie. I'm a book publisher in Australia. I'm also a published author, been a bookseller, been a literary agent. I'm an editor, so I know a fair bit about books and publishing. So I mainly address novelists on here because I'm presuming you're a novelist, because as a publisher, most of what I see is novel submissions. And I believe that most people who are working on manuscripts are working on novel manuscripts. So I'm going to frame what I say in those terms. If you have been working on just the one novel for years, I think you need to accept you may only ever have the one novel in you. Quite often see submissions and I meet writers who say, I've been working on this manuscript for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, sometimes longer. They treat it as a badge of honor. It is not a badge of honor, it is a fact. It is nothing more than a fact. So when you put it in your submission letters and think that it will get you brownie points with the agent or publisher who's reading that submission letter, it will not. In fact, it tends to give us pause because we think, well, you've been working on this one thing for a long time, so your expectations are going to be enormous that something's actually going to happen with this manuscript because you spent so long on it, and you may well have overworked it because you spent so long on it, which tends to decrease the chances of anything happening with it. It also suggests that you're not writing because writing is an activity you enjoy. You're writing in order to achieve something, because if you were a writer who just wanted to write, then you would have many ideas coming through the pipeline and you may well have worked on that first manuscript for a little while because it's your first manuscript, but then you should well have moved on to other stories, done other things, because writers write. I realize that you may be watching this and thinking, well, that's me. And I take umbrage with what you have said. That's fine. You're allowed to. I'm telling you this as someone who has many years in the book publishing industry. And from what I have seen, those manuscripts that have had years and years put into them, where the writers have not worked on anything else, they are loaded up with too many expectations, and that writer is setting themselves up for disappointment and also not looking at what else may be out there. And as I said in the previous video, that first manuscript is very unlikely to be the one that does it for you, because that is the apprenticeship manuscript. So if you want to have longevity as a writer, if you want to actually do anything at all with your writing, I encourage you to let those ideas flow. Keep writing. By all means, work on that first manuscript. Treat it as the apprenticeship manuscript. Keep writing other manuscripts. There are plenty more stories to tell. You may well enjoy doing it. I certainly do. There are plenty of things that I've started that have not gone anywhere, but that's okay. They're just things to work on. It's part of being a writer. Let me know if you have any questions. I almost faltered at the end there. Okay, bye.